Well, it was it's a nice try. I had other plans today, but then the rain hit and it's just been nasty outside all day. And so I decided that I was just going to try to do today's video indoors. And I thought I would go back to the kitchen. This decision to make bacon wrapped hot dogs was kind of a last minute thing. By the way, in case you're wondering about the recipe, it's very simple. Wrap the hot dogs in a thick sliced bacon, put it in the oven at 385 for 25 minutes, done. As you know from watching this channel for a while, if you've been here a while, the kitchen is my nemesis because it only has one light at the top that shines directly down on my head, and it just puts everything else in shadow. And I have sort of been waiting until I was ready to add some light before I could kind of see where this was going to take me and if I could overcome it cheaply. So I brought in this little light right here. This is it's a flat panel LED light. I've had it for years. It has this little piece that fits over it so that it has a little bit of diffusion here just to sort of soften the light. I set it to sunlight white balance, the same as my overhead light. And I took a test shot, and the test shot, everything was really dark, and so I set my exposure compensation to 0 so that I kind of see what was going on. And I filmed this scene with just the light overhead, and you can see that the top of my head is too bright and my face is in shadow. And so I did another clip where I turned this light on and I was adjusting the brightness of the light to find out what was the lowest setting I could use that worked. And I took this video where there's still a little shadow, but my face is definitely lit better. So the test showed me that I could make this video with this light on and I could probably overcome at least part of the issue that I've had. The problem was I never changed the exposure compensation back to -7, which is where I typically shoot indoors. And I'm shooting maybe at -1 outdoors. Because all that does is darken everything down. As I've talked about before, in post-processing, it's easier to lift the shadows and make the video a little bit brighter. It's much easier to do that than it is to lower the highlights and try to bring everything down. So almost everything in this video is overexposed. It's just too bright. And I did some adjusting and I did what I could, but it's still, it's just bad. I mentioned in the video one shot that was exactly what I wanted through everything. And that, I have no idea where I was because I got a phone call. Anyway, I used this light. The one shot that was what I was looking for was the slow motion shot, 120 frames per second slow motion shot of me putting the salt on the bacon. Yes, I do put salt on my bacon. And the reason for that is the 120 frames per second really eats up the light. So you have to lift the light a little bit so it's not quite so shadowy when you shoot at 120 frames per second. In this case, it actually lowered all of the highlights down where I wanted them to start with. And if the whole video had looked like that one shot, I would have been very, very happy. So I got to try it again. I will keep working with it and keep experimenting from time to time, but today it didn't work. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you again tomorrow.